So I wanted, today I had like a few things I wanted to get done. One of which was to set up a VPN. And, I thought before spending $200, I would fucking do a little due diligence.
Makes sense.
And I thought, you know what, this is $200. I didn't think it was going to be that expensive. So, again, it's really important. I should really not just blindly click because of these fucking, scumbag cocksuckers who have it listed as, it's only $3.27 a month. However, you have to pay 3 years in full. So it's actually a lot more than $3, which is just, that kind of defeats the whole entire, hey, remember that $3.26? Remember that friendly, digestible? Hey, it's not much of an investment. You only invest $3. Well, for a 2-year plan, so it's actually, quite a bit more than that, which is some shady fucking bullshit.
Especially if it's a 2-year plan. That seems weird.
It's fucking complete and utter nonsense. And then I was like, all right, let's really look into this. Let's first figure out the first question. What's a VPN, right? I know virtual private network. That part I've been able to deduce from the incessant ads you see on every single YouTuber who apparently I've now discovered is either willingly or unwillingly just all fucking monsters, a part of the same fucking mass media marketing campaign.
Really?
Just to spread misinformation. The entire fucking thing, first off, this is a very rare time in life this happens. You know how often it is, in my experience, where the more I research a topic, the less I fucking know about it?
This is probably the first time.
Not one of, for sure. Doesn't happen too often. Usually, it's like, I want to learn about, I don't know, I want to learn about Victorian artists, right? So what I do, look up artists from the Victorian era, read about them. Hey, you know what? I'm more knowledgeable about Victorian artists now than I was prior. Looking
Makes
up a
sense.
VPN thing, watching 40 some odd videos from 30 fucking personality people in 2 times speed, every 3 videos checking, hey, how can I watch something faster than 2 times speed to try and handle these morons? So half of YouTube is people who are just saying, hey guys, here's the best VPN, okay? The other half of YouTube, or maybe not half, maybe a smaller subset of YouTubers, are people who are saying, hey, VPN, not the answer, okay?
Really?
Now, that's peculiar to me and was confusing. And for a second, I was like, okay, well, clearly someone here is a liar. So either A, people who are promoting VPNs are just shills for those companies who are being paid in sponsorships and everything else just to say, hey, consume, don't look, just do it. I'm like, or maybe the other half people, I'm talking to my conspiracy theorist my hat on, right? And I was like, well, what if people who are denouncing it are actually just corporate or just shills for the government, and they're the ones saying, hey, don't use a VPN, it's actually super bad for you, right? So I don't know who to trust, okay? As it gets explained to me, what do you think a VPN does?
Well, first off, I'm glad you explained what VPN stands for, because I'm sure someone listening didn't know.
Right.
Someone talking right now
someone
probably
talking
know it's
maybe
different
also
either.
didn't know.
I was under the impression that VPN protected your IP address,
Right.
kind of protected your internet browsing, so
Well,
people
that's
can't
the
mine your
first
data.
part of the scam, is that they kind of sell themselves as being this whole internet security thing when they're not really interested. Apparently, the only 3 things they're actually good for is location spoofing, to say like I'm actually in fucking,
so we can watch
Lithuania
Netflix.
and everything
Yeah.
else. Like, hey, do you want to see those Japanese Netflix titles? The ones that are apparently, so highly sought after, because every fucking video is like, hey, you want to look at the Japanese Netflix? I thought it'd be like, someone says Peru, someone says Luxembourg, for some reason, every person's example says, hey, you want to see Netflix Japan? Which is also odd.
Yeah.
It does that really well. It does it apparently it masks your IP, but also apparently not really, because basically the way it works is that they have they have a set number of IPs. I think it was 5,500. So you'd have 5,500 IPs, so you're just be one of those IPs though, of the ones they have.
So they're like having like a burner number almost, just because you're random IP.
Kind of, but then you can also spend an extra $200 and get a direct IP, which is just your own personal one, which then as I was reading the description, I'm like, wouldn't that defeat the purpose of having? Because then now we're just having an extra IP I pay for on top of the IP I already have that comes naturally.
And that's fucking dumb.
So that's bullshit. Okay. On top of them, they all say no logs being kept. That's just apparently a lie for most of them.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's incorrect. And on top of that, apparently it's basically, if you're worried about your anonymity and let's say, for instance, you're trying to like hide your browser data because you don't want anyone to be able to find it, whatever, right? That's not really the case, because apparently some of these corporations just are like hand over information to the government anyway.
So why is the government so against VPNs then? If
I don't
it doesn't
know.
Do anything?
Robbie, I don't know.
I forgot you spent
Don't
hours
ask me questions.
researching.
Don't ask me to clarify things.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I spent 4 fucking hours with my eyes glued to a computer like a good little cog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I just fucking stared at the screen as my retinas burned, and I learned less and less about VPNs, about who I am, about what I want in my life. Okay, it's complete fucking garble, just nonsense. Okay. So like I said, half of YouTube is just pro VPN. Half of it's just puppets. They're all puppets of someone. I don't know who the hell is the fucking, puppeteer, but they're all being controlled by someone. Okay. And the entire time I'm watching it, I was trying to think, I'm like, let me just take a step back, find the baseline, right? Like, what do I know? And every time I try to have that question myself and ponder, I knew less and less, right?
Well, you knew what VPN stood for.
I got that part. Okay, came to the part where I was like, I'm just going to say you're a farmer. Okay, I couldn't think of anything at all.
My dad and I picked carrots off the trees this morning.
My brain turned to mush. Okay, everything about it. I was just so lost in this experience. And again, all I wanted. Okay, I thought, oh, this would be easy. NordVPN. I've seen it sponsored 1,000 times. Just spend a little bit of money. Bam, bam, bam. Bigelow. I'm good to go. Right. Mm-hmm. And again, no, because apparently all the things it does. I've seen one video of the person's. I've seen all these pro people who are like, hey guys, VPNs. Right. It can be kind of complicated. Let me help you understand. I watched that guy's video that's 7 minutes long and 2 times speed. Okay, the next video I watched is someone saying, "Don't use a VPN." So I'm like, okay, now who do I believe? This guy or this guy? Right?
Was it the same approach? Hey guys, this is why you shouldn't use a VPN.
No, admittedly, I can say that the ones who were promoting it were more annoying than the ones who weren't promoting it. Nice. The ones who were denouncing it seemed to have a little bit more of a personality to them.
Nice.
But the entire,
so you can probably trust those guys then.
The entire thing's confusing. And not to mention, it's like I went through 40 videos, I read like 30 articles, I went on Reddit, I was scrolling through fucking a bunch of different posts, reading all the comments. I went to fucking NordVPN and ExpressVPN, I think, and was talking to their customer service reps. Okay?
Really?
The NordVPN customer service rep, I guess got bored or took a lunch break, and out of nowhere stopped being a real person, just became a computer again.
Really?
Yeah, so it started off as a computer, and as always, because they think that the computer's gonna do anything. I've never been able to get my issue solved talking to the stupid AI bots, okay? So what I do every time, real fucking person, say, oh, give me a moment to connect to the real person. I connect, someone named Brooke, I'm talking to Brooke for 10 messages. They're taking their time, they're answering my questions, and then I ask them another question. It's like, I can understand that question. Could you please rephrase? And I was like, okay. And I rephrased, and it says, I can understand the question. Would you please rephrase? If one of your questions falls in this category, please hit one of these links. I'm like, what's going on?
So do you think Michelle, is it Michelle? You said, or Brooke? Do you think Brooke was actually a person, or was just a more advanced AI you were talking to?
It was it would be a less advanced because it sounded like a dumb person I was talking to the entire time. But I have no idea.
Did you do your usual?
Checked out.
Did you do your usual? That's not what I'm fucking asking you.
Yeah, I'm always rude to these people. I'm never am I nice to them. I have no reason to be, okay?
Well, they're not real people, as we're
apparently, yeah, because again, they just turned into a fucking bot halfway through it. And they kept saying how these things are like the people who were denouncing it were saying that they're actually just honeypots. They're not actually fucking like.
I don't know what that means, that expression.
We'll get to it. Okay. They were explaining that your information is kind of because basically what happens is usually when you're on the internet. I have a loose grasp on this because again, the more I learned, the less I knew. Mm-hmm. So usually, your internet service, your internet history and everything goes through your internet service provider, right? That makes sense. And then everything gets stored there. But apparently all the VPN does now is has it doesn't go. It gets stored on that service as well, and it's like all your data is there. And apparently NordVPN was like hacked in 2018. Like everyone's information was just put out there. So I'm like, that doesn't seem very good. And on top of it,
the
again,
whole point of having VPN was so it can't get hacked.
I don't know. Okay, and then apparently all these companies use these terms of like military secure, and the person was just saying how that's total bullshit, and how you go to a website, sometimes you'll see in the top left corner or most reputable sites. Hopefully, the only reputable sites are the ones you're going on, where it shows a little lock symbol in the corner. Mm-hmm. Apparently, that's already essentially doing the whole entire process for you. And then I was trying to figure out, okay, well, let's focus on the IP grabbing things. That's an issue over here. People get the fucking you see these streamers go up there, and it's like they're getting their house swatted because someone got their IP address from some bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to find something. I'm like, okay, so does Twitch, is there a way to find your IP address just by using Twitch? Everyone's like, no, you can't. You can't. Third link, well, there are ways in which you can.
Yeah, because doesn't happen all the fucking time.
Yeah, so basically what it's come down to in my research is that you're fucked, and it's just really, well, how do you want to get fucked? Do you want it to be romantic, or do you want it to be rough? That's pretty much the only way it can be. Can it be passionful or passionless, okay? But the point is you're getting fucked. One way or the other. And I guess there's some sort of, comfort or courtesy to decide how I do it. Should it be while I spend $200 a month to give myself a fucking
false sense of security?
Yeah, false sense of security in this fucking feigned veil of mine, right? That's option A. Option B is just to go out there in the wild, wild west and just see what the hell's happening anyway. Mm. And it really just seems like I don't know. Maybe we should maybe this whole internet thing, this whole fad, maybe it should have been a fad when people were talking about that in the 90s, saying it's just a fad. Maybe it should have been. Maybe we'll held on this one too tightly. We need to let it go and start from scratch because something's not right. First off, which I've said a dozen times now because I'm just short-circuiting after all this nonsense, which I said nonsense at that. I can't even come up with new words. That's how annoyed I am, okay? That's how much my brain was just stripped down trying to read through this bullshit, okay? Let me breathe for a second, okay? Let me not pass out from talking so much. What was I saying a second ago?
You were going on about how it's all just a fucking shill, basically.
It's all bullshit. Fucking your data, it's going to get stored. Basically, you're just paying a fee to have them store your data, which then who knows what that happens. Also, apparently almost all these companies are owned by other companies, which is also not good.
Defeats the purpose.
I can't think of the example, but apparently like 3 of the VPNs are owned by the same person or the same conglomerate, which is like, that doesn't seem, now it just seems like it's just, that doesn't seem good. It doesn't seem like the 3 top VPNs should all be the same company at the end of the day.
No.
That doesn't make sense. Also, the hilarious part too is that apparently all they drastic. I mean, I don't know, because the people who are saying that they're bad are harping on how this just fucking ruins your internet speed. Okay,
nice.
And people who are saying that it's they all keep saying a little thing in their video where they're like, "Hey guys, here's the reason you should use it." They're like, I've seen a lot of people leaving comments as far as that it may dwindle internet speeds. I personally haven't experienced that, and that could have a lot more outside factors opposed to the VPN, like where you are, where you're connecting to, what your current internet speed is. It's like, okay.
Well, from all those ads, I never even understood the concept of how the VPN even worked. You just change saying, "Oh, I'm actually in Europe right now." It just instantly happens.
I have no idea. I tried looking at Eero, right, to see if I can connect the NordVPN to that. I went to the NordVPN. I'm asking the fucking, the plethora of knowledge that is Brooke at customer service to ask what the hell. And I said, hey, can I connect NordVPN through Eero? Because originally, the first Nord video I looked at, right, I was looking up how to set up NordVPN through a router, because apparently NordVPN can only use on 6 devices at a time. I'm like, really? 6 devices for $200?
That's ridiculous.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay? That's 4 phones, 2 computers.
I pay $17 a month to have YouTube Premium on 5 different fucking accounts, but you're telling me I need to spend $200 for 3 years to not get it on 4?
Which doesn't even give me your security like they say it is.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Fucking. So you're paying for these limited devices, but then it was saying no. But if you set up your VPN, it says that the really way to do it is to get the VPN and set the VPN up on your router, so then it just is unlimited devices. So whatever's connected to your router automatically goes to the VPN. And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
And with my limited understanding, that makes sense.
Like, all right, so you basically they kept saying tunneling services and all this bullshit. So just picture. You have all your devices, right? The picture says like a pyramid scheme, okay?
Okay.
You have all your devices, right? Going up this, just picture a triangle. It's not even a pyramid scheme. Just picture a triangle. That would have been a lot easier to say, okay? Or what's that? Tree graph. Remember those in like 2nd grade?
Yeah.
Picture one of those, right? So here's all your devices, and they all go up, and then they go into the router, right? Mm-hmm. So basically your option A was to take those devices in the first tier and just make 6 of them become VPNs, or none of them are VPN, just the router is the VPN. So then usually your data goes from your phone to your router to the general internet.
Okay.
Essentially, getting the VPN it was illustrating to me. Like getting the VPN was like just putting a fucking a
block
armor on your fucking router. Where now everything that leaves your router goes through the VPN first, and then goes to the World Wide Web. So you can't be tracked.
Like a filter.
But you still can be tracked because again, there's only 5,000 fucking VPNs, and also not to mention, apparently almost every site in the fucking world according to this, it just says, "Ooh, you're using a VPN. Sorry, can't use our site. Sorry." It's like when you go to fucking.
Really?
It's like when you're doing the ad blocker. It's like, "Ooh, our site requires ads to be run, so you come back with cookies turned on." All that nonsense.
It's such an overwhelming, depressing feeling realizing how it's just this claw digging into everything, and there's no way around having any form of privacy.
Thing again. It's the Ted Kaczynski thing again. Who we haven't even mentioned. I think it's absurd. We talked about him, and then 2 weeks later he kills himself.
That is weird.
Apparently, I guess he heard the episode and was like, "Fuck, I'm out of here."
You know how we had one extra subscriber that just disappeared?
Yeah,
I think
that's Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. I mean, maybe he has a VPN in prison so he can actually go on the internet and find things. And then it was saying things like the one person was saying one of the best benefits of VPN is if you're living in a country where it has serious guideline like restrictions. And then like this person was saying how when they lived in China they used a VPN so they could access Google or access YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. I'm like, so China's allowing VPNs?
No, they're not.
What? So China's like, no, you can't use the internet freely, but if you pay $200 for something that we don't own, yes, you can. That doesn't make sense to me.
VPNs kind of sound like the way Netflix has you pay this much a month, you can watch 1 TV. You pay this much a month, you can watch 2 TVs. However, you pay this much to watch 2 TVs, your buffering is going to be slower. You have to deal with fucking the spinning ring nonstop. It's kind of what it sounds like. It doesn't actually do anything. It's just an excuse to get more money and not actually do anything you're asking for.
Well, you want your data to be kept secret, right? But again, apparently it's just a fucking, all it is you're just essentially, all you're doing now, according to this very skewed understanding, okay, because again, I'm questioning my grasp of reality after all of this, okay? Apparently, all you're doing is paying a premium fee, essentially, to have your information be stored in this centralized location.
So they can give it to everybody else?
Exactly, yeah. And it's expensive. It slows down your internet speed. Apparently, a lot of things are blocked using it.
Well, it's actually a huge benefit when you think about it.
What's that?
If you're not paying for the VPN, you have no idea how anyone's getting your data.
That's true. Now
If
you know
pay
how
for the
it's being-
VPN, you know exactly where it's coming from.
And that's the one thing the person was pointing out, saying like, well, usually your internet, I can't do anything at all. It don't make sense. And that's why I was talking videos about how there's DVPNs, which are decentralized virtual private networks, and apparently those are way better because those are actually like doing the whole thing you want them to do.
Yeah, but 6 months from now they won't.
The one that I was looking, the guy talk about involved crypto and how you have to actually pay for every single thing you're doing. So you want to watch a Netflix movie that's an hour long, which I thought was a weird example because what movie's an hour long?
None.
You have to pay like, sixth fractions of a penny. And it's like, so I'm just going to be racking up these absurd charges for everything,
Yeah, that's really not
That didn't make much sense to me. And there's something called Tor, which is a torrent where it's like you're not actually doing something, you're actually doing, you're not actually on the internet, but you're actually on the internet. And it's all so fucking confusing. And the person was saying how it doesn't even, apparently doesn't even provide the security aspect to you because it's not like it does anything where, you're now, I can't even explain, okay? I know I'm rambling here, but I genuinely can't wrap my head around it. And again, I can't stress enough how uncomfortable it is to do more research and only have more questions. And then I'm trying to look up specific things. I'm looking at them, I'm like, all right, let me just narrow this down. Let me go very small level, right? I'm like, do streamers need to have VPNs?
That's a pretty specific question.
Should be yes or no.
It should give you a couple of answers, yeah.
What was that?
Should give you a couple of answers as in
what?
yes or no.
It should do what?
Couple of answers.
That are
yes or no. As in 2 different answers. It should be the only thing you get is 2
you
answers.
think. All right, so not only do you get 17.3 billion lies that Google says are the search results, right? Since that's not true.
No, it's like 300 results at
You have
best.
300 results, and then we're just making up numbers to inflate our fucking ego.
Yeah.
Proof that everything that you know about the internet is bullshit. Is Yahoo is still one of the top 10 most visited sites?
That can't possibly be
Apparently it is. So everything on the internet's a fucking lie. Okay, if Yahoo is still a top 10 site.
When's the last time Yahoo, besides right now, came up in conversation for you? 17 years ago?
When I found out that when I found the information I just relayed to you. But prior to that, whenever I watched Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
what I was
my
gonna get
experience
to.
to Yahoo.
That's what I
Or
was getting to.
when you hear someone say, when you hear some jerk off just vomit and regurgitate, Google, Yahoo could have bought Google for like only $30 million and they chose not to.
It's a good story. I'm glad people keep talking about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that one giant piece of shit company didn't absorb another giant piece of shit company. What a different trajectory it could have been on.
Yep.
And they keep saying things like decentralized and then they say centralized, and it's all bullshit.
I think those are just
It's
words
they're all buzzwords.
around. Yeah.
No one knows what anything is. That's why I think it's become to the point where no one knows anything. We're all just feigning it. We're just pretending. And the people who are just better at pretending it. And I just can't get an answer for anything. It's what it comes down to. I don't think I want a VPN, but maybe I do want a VPN. Maybe I don't want one. Maybe it does a lot. Maybe it does nothing.
I think the only solution to anything...
Get off the internet, live in the woods, start, making these fucking makeshift detonation devices and sending them out to people.
Well, we should start filming this with, like, our local televised network, like those weird freaks did in the 90s with all that... We should just start filming this on public broadcast TV. A, but B, I think the real answer is just we have to make our own server. We have to get those big fucking computer disks and all those drives and put them in our basement and get everything wired that way. It's apparently the only way. And that sounds more expensive than anything else.
I think the only way is for us to fucking just dig 100 feet into the ground into some fucking... I'm assuming... Now, listen, I didn't research this, but I'm assuming based off of every movie ever made, lead stops everything, okay?
Yeah.
Nothing can get past lead.
Not even Superman.
Superman's vision can't see through it. Fucking all the most secure data is stored at hundreds of fucking thousands of... Even though the Earth isn't that big. Hundreds of thousands of miles below the surface, which, again, not possible, but... That's where all the secure stuff is stored. 100,000 miles below the Earth, beneath the Earth's core, okay? You go down there in an all-lead room, and then finally you have an iota of security for a second. Because apparently everything else is just, no. I tried looking up, like, okay, so do Twitch streamers use VPNs? They're like, yes, they do, because of blah, 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 blah. And then it says how to mask your IP address. But then when you look at Twitch, Twitch says no, so no one can find your IP address from using Twitch, because apparently when you're on Twitch, you stream to Twitch, and then Twitch kind of does some,
That's not
blah,
true,
blah, blah,
though.
blah, blah.
They're blatantly lying with that fucking answer.
I don't know. And then but then apparently there's also these fucking bot accounts which are like just pop up in your chat, and if you click on them, they immediately get your IP. Because then apparently what happens is there are these extensions that can be run on Twitch pages where if a person loads onto that particular Twitch page, that Twitch page collects the IP address that launched that fucking request to see that information and then stores it in there. And I was reading this Reddit post from this guy from like 3 years ago who's first off was a streamer of like he was saying like, I don't have a VPN because I didn't think it was necessary since I'm not that big of a streamer. He's like, I only do it for fun. I get maybe like 30 viewers on like the best possible day.
Yeah.
And he was saying how some random account just came into his chat and started just copy pasting his IP address.
Seriously?
In the chat. And then he was trying to figure out how that happened, and he was saying, and then the person was saying it was probably because of Minecraft. He was playing on a Hypixel server, and apparently they don't have the security. If someone like can get into the security of that, they can see everyone who logs into that, and blah 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 blah. So again, nothing safe, nothing secure. The little fucking lockbox in the corner means nothing.
Yeah, it's just
decoration. And then one of the bullshit videos I was watching was the guy talking about how internet security has become a lot more important for most people in the world. Even companies are starting to reflect that. Look at how Apple's now making it their number one priority to make sure that your data is protected and secure. I'm like, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a fucking second.
Why would I believe that Apple is protecting my data? And then, because you see things like Apple refuses to give the government information. Yeah, they're refusing to give the U.S. government information.
Yeah, exactly. When the government ceased their operations.
I don't know. I don't get any of it. I don't understand how we've gotten this far as a society to even have these things, because nothing makes sense. And again, so it's like, the person who created the internet, what were they doing? Were they thinking like, no, this is gonna be, was it all made just to be a data collecting service? And then it's saying, and then on top of that too, fucking. So like I said, it's oh damn, VPN. Yeah, I'll give it a chance. Fucking only $3.47 a month.
That sounds more than reasonable.
Of course, you have to pay 12 months at a time. You have to pay 24 months at a time. And then it's like, and it says, do you want to? I told you, it says, do you want to add the personal IP? The way this started, right? I was actually going to just hit purchase, but then it said 2 add-ons. Like, what are these 2 add-ons? It said for an extra $150 for 2 years, you can have your personal IP address. I'm like, why would I want a personal IP address?
Yeah, don't you already have your own personal IP address?
Because apparently when you're using the IP addresses that they provide, like I said, a lot of sites block them. So you'd have to have your own personal one. But then how am I masking my IP address if my personal IP address is only assigned to me through the service? Couldn't they just couldn't they just figure out this IP address, go to NordVPN, say only one person has this unique one, figure out that user is, and then bam, we're back where we started?
That's what it sounds like to me.
It doesn't make sense. At all. None of it. It's all bullshit. Internet security is a complete farce. Fucking all these malware stuff. And then all these guys are like, the only actual internet security is just to be more vigilant and not do silly things. Like, not do silly things?
What does that even mean?
It's like, don't ever click on any link. Don't go to any website you've never been to before. Fucking use 1,000 different passwords for every single thing. Everything should be two-step factor authentication. Fucking, you should have. This one's actually like a good idea, to be honest. This one person said you should have like a dozen emails. Like, that's really stupid. Why would I have a dozen emails? Mm-hmm. Instead, just make burner emails. Make an email exclusively for shopping. Make an email exclusively for social media. Make an email exclusively for like actual personal information. Mm-hmm. Make an email exclusive for fucking sports information. So you're not getting the same amount of spam. If one gets hacked, they don't all get hacked. Fucking use bogus names. Just make which I did today actually. Before I even watched the video, I'll tell you, since I couldn't find the answer, I was mad to even talk customer service. They said to use NordVPN.
Did you curse out the customer service? Please tell me you ripped this person apart or this bot.
I didn't rip them apart. I was cursing at them. I mean, I guess to them, maybe I was ripping them apart. But as far as my metrics of ripping people apart no, I did not believe I was. Maybe to the faint of heart, yes.
Well, your metrics kind of line up with the metrics of you're safe if you use VPN.
Yes.
Only not really.
Exactly. Fucking the VPN bullshit. Before I could even talk to customer service, they're like, please give us your valid email so we can. It's like, please give us your main email to talk and communicate. And I was like, why do I need to give my email?
Take your information, send it to the companies who pay
I think I put bimboboy69 at yahoo.com.
And then Yahoo is in the top 10 searches.
Searches of all time. And it's like, yeah, because everyone's using Yahoo. Fucking, okay, no one uses Yahoo for anything. People use Google, and then a lot of fucking fucked up people use Bing, okay? No one's using Yahoo.
Yeah, actually, I use LOL still.
That's my point. Imagine if someone said AOL is the 4th most used site.
Yep.
You'd be like, no, it's not. Or like, DuckDaddy Go is actually the largest web browser. It's like, no, it's not.
DuckDaddy Go.
It's just, the internet is a fucking wasteland. We need, essentially, someone, okay, I'm not promoting this because I'm almost not almost I'm 1,000% positive this would fall somewhere in the guidelines of terrorism, but hypothetically, just a giant EMP to take out all of the internet and just go back to square one may be the best solution. And on top of that too, it's saying like VPN it says like NordVPN doesn't log your data, but then the person pointed out, well, they have to log your data to an extent because they're using your credit card, and a credit card has to be kept in some sort of a log. Know what the payment methods are.
So then I think VPNs need to have a pigeon carrier service where you tie your money each year to a pigeon. It flies the VPN.
Well, apparently, or you can use cryptocurrencies, but that also is just confusing to me, and I don't care enough to learn about it.
Yeah, because everybody in the day-to-day life understands what crypto means and all that other shit.
I don't get any of it.
You know what crypto sounds like to me? Cryptic. I avoid things that are cryptic. They're usually scary and not safe. And VPNs are cryptic and not safe.
The crypto comes from I saw a guy talking about it. Why it's called crypto? Because what's another word that sounds like crypto besides cryptic? Because now you threw me off on that one.
I was gonna say cryptic. You're gonna be a dick. I have no idea.
I don't care.
Crypto the dog.
No, I don't know. It's all stupid. It's all fake. None of it makes sense. No one actually knows what's going on. And again, it's like I went through 40 fucking Reddits, 175 million YouTube videos. Okay.
I don't know how you did it, because I would have I probably would have believed the first, second, third thing max. I would have gone that far. I'm like, yeah, I have an answer.
Because no one gave me answers. I had to keep looking further and further and further, not finding answers. Apparently, you can create your own virtual private network, which is your personal one. We don't have to pay anything, but then apparently that's like super slow and has a really limited. And then the one guy was saying that most of the internet security that a VPN's saying it. Also, apparently VPNs didn't even start off as being about security. Apparently, that's just the new trick they've added to it. Apparently, they were only created.
They're originally data mining companies.
No,
send your money.
It's not that bad. Apparently, the initial purpose of it was just to have it where you could hire remote workers to work on your servers. So you could like be an American corporation and have someone in India connect to your server and have it run smoothly. And I was like, okay, well that makes sense. That's the whole jumping around thing. Yeah. Apparently, they just added this sense of security and privacy, which isn't even necessarily true.
It doesn't sound like it's true at all.
And then again, like the person's saying, it's like it's just a game. Essentially, a VPN is just a game of trust. Do you want to trust your internet service provider? Or do you want to trust this other company that's just some random new company? And a lot of these VPN companies are new companies, so you're just putting blind trust into a random nonsense. Mm-hmm. I gotta stop saying random nonsense. Every time I get to the word non, I'm like, fuck, I'm about to say sense. Fuck, I don't want to keep repeating my words. But again, I can't think straight. This fried my fucking circuits. Okay. And again, it's so I can trust this person or I can trust that person, and this person hasn't been around that long, and this person might sell my information to the government. This person definitely sells my information to the government. And also, does it matter my information is going to the government? Do I really personally care? Because what am I doing that's that important? But then also, it's like I'd like to have some sort of privacy. And then also, it's like I start looking up too. I'm like, so like, does uploading YouTube videos just show people my IP address? And it's like, no, but they can gather your IP address from other factors. I'm like, from what? From what? Give me concrete. Isn't there a better way?
Yeah, what other factors? How many possible factors can you be at play right now?
Okay?
You can't give me an answer.
I don't get how YouTube works at all, okay? YouTube, fucking side note, are, again, just they fall into that same aforementioned group of scumbag cocksuckers I mentioned to the ones I was alluding to with the whole, yeah, it's $3.16, but really it's $900 because we're going to charge you for 11 years. All money, and they say full money back guarantee in 30 days. It's like, I'm taking that at face value now. Tim, because I thought everything else you said was true. I'm supposed to believe that now. And does that mean that they said money back guarantee? Like, so is that the whole money? Is that just they're giving me 1 month back?
Month.
Yeah, so like you spent $900 for 11 years,
but you're canceling now. So.
But so you get that month, you get that third. We're going to take off $3 from your charge. And then you know what I'm really getting fucking aware of as well is these, because again, like I'm seeing this. The first VPN one I saw was a person who had a link, like, go to my link below for 68% off your order. I'm like, all right, that's a pretty hefty penny, right? I'm looking at it. It's like, so you can spend $212 for a tier subscription, opposed to spending like $600. And I was like, but is it really? So I'm like, but how do I know that they're just doing the whole thing where they say, oh, it's on sale for $200, you're saving $400, but in actuality, it was always $200.
It's most likely what it was.
So it's all a scam across the entire board. And YouTube has no answers. Google has no answers. Reddit has no answers. Even the people who are responding who are like supposed to be the experts, they don't seem to have answers. And I don't know. I don't even know if it's important anymore to have internet security. I don't understand how to have internet security or if it's even possible to have internet security. And again, it's like, so why would I stream using a VPN, which would then hint, so like, but then it says like all the main streamers use it, but then all these things I'm saying that VPNs drastically downgrade your fucking speed, and a lot of things blocked. So how is a streamer using a VPN playing the game, streaming it, they're using the VPN, But then also, how's the person getting the IP address? And it's like, again, if you have apparently, if you have this is the hilarious of all of it. If you pay the extra $2 to get a direct IP from NordVPN, right?
Mm-hmm.
You spend the extra $2, you get your own unique IP address. Apparently, that makes your internet run faster because you're not sharing it with other people.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
But then again, if you're using your own individual IP address, aren't we back to square one?
Yeah, it defeats the point of needing a fucking VPN in the first place.
And then the other thing I was getting to in the videos was talking about how like the VPN isn't necessarily safe either because you don't know who else is using that VPN in that location.
I didn't even know that's how it worked.
So like since there's 5,500 IP addresses, you could be using an IP address and someone else could be using an IP address, and apparently according to this this just vast dearth of just knowledge you can't even comprehend, it was saying how like you could have someone on that IP address who's then, since they're also not, they can get your information because they're using the same address.
Oh, that's really good for security. So there's 5,000 you said, just for argument's sake?
5,500.
5,500. You need a bigger number.
But they're constantly adding more. There's always new IP. Each video I saw somehow from 10 different people were all like 5,500 at the time of the recordings. They're always adding more.
But then they're not, because you shouldn't be able to put a number on it at any point. You shouldn't even say, if all the videos also have that fucking round number, they're not adding. First of all, it's not enough numbers, A, but B. So I didn't realize this is what you were getting at the whole time. So you're saying that the limited the IPs they have, hypothetically, say there's 1,000 people in this state. Hypothetically, all 1,000 people who might have the VPN in that state is using the same fucking server.
Potentially, I guess.
So then we can all just collectively.
I guess.
That defeats the whole point of having one.
I know.
We might as well just have the same fucking Facebook page.
I know.
That's
it doesn't make sense, any of it. Okay? And again, I think I can't get the simple as an answer to, hey, should you have a VPN to stream? I can't get an answer on that one. And all these VPNs too, it's like fucking a lot of them, almost all of them just aren't doing what they're saying they're doing. It's all bullshit. It's all a fucking lie. And again, I'm trying to figure out, so what is the actual way about being, because there's no way these billionaires aren't secure on their internet. So how do I, a civilian, how do I get a glimmer of that security on the internet?
You don't, you're a pedestrian.
And then it's like, every site you go to, but apparently even in general, the person was saying that the internet service provider doesn't really see what you're doing on your internet.
What'd you say?
Your ISP, your internet service provider, they don't actually see what you're doing on the internet. They just know what sites you're going to.
Is that the same thing as seeing what you're doing on the internet?
Well, no. Like, I guess.
If I go to Pornhub, what could I possibly be doing on Pornhub? They know what I'm doing on the internet.
Well, no. They know you're going to the site, but I meant that they don't know like what you're doing on the site. Particularly, they just know you're accessing a site.
I think knowing that particular site's enough of an answer to what I'm doing.
Fucking harping on that particular. Let me get to. No, I get what you're saying, but then I guess you're right, because they were saying like, if you access, for instance, Pornhub, and you go into that site, they'll know you're on the site. They don't know what access to the video you're actually watching.
Yeah, so no one doesn't watch.
But then again, when you go to a Pornhub and you click on a video, you get a specialized URL for that particular video. So won't they just get that hit saying, okay, this is the video they went to? So how are they not getting all the information?
Yeah.
And then on top of it, like I said, I saw an article that said the best VPN for Eero devices is Nord. I go to NordVPN. I say, hey, Brooke, can I use NordVPN on an Eero? She says no.
Interesting.
I'm like, all right. She says, here's a list of the approved ones. Because originally, the first video I saw about VPN, I was just going to blindly buy it. The guy said, here's a setup on your router. Click the link below and see it on there, okay? And I looked up NordVPN on Eero. This is the video. Click on the link, scroll through the approved routers, don't see it on there. I'm like,
nice.
Okay. Go to Ask Brooke. Doesn't see it on there. I linked Brooke to an article that says, hey, the best VPN to use on an Eero device is NordVPN.
She said, I don't understand the question. Can you reword it?
We haven't gotten to that point yet. This is still a real person, I believe, before she decided, I don't know how to help him. Maybe a computer's better off, even though he explicitly requested a human to help him with. Because also, I have zero interest. I cannot even describe, there's not a quantitative number to express how little interest I have in talking to an automated AI
but when
computer
you call
program.
a number, who doesn't just rapidly press zero nonsense when you get an actual person?
So she's like, well, we didn't actually. That article is published by a third-party site, not. It's not on NordVPN's website. So take anything you read about that with a grain of salt.
That's good advice.
And I was like, yeah, I should only take into account what you guys are saying. Yeah. That you're right. Everything else I see should be with a grain of salt always. And again, I sent her an article saying how VPN on Eero. She's like, I don't know. Can you give me the specific Eero you're using? Maybe I just can't find it.
She's trying to get your data. You didn't give it to her, did you?
I might just told her the name of it.
Okay.
I said it was the fucking the Eero 6 dual mesh something. And then she's like, let me look into that. 15 minutes passed, by the way. She's like, I'll give her a little bit of fucking a compliment. in that 15-minute purgatory of me watching other videos and her just not doing anything, it's just she did comment 3 times. I'm still looking. I'm still trying to find an answer. So I was like, all right. Thanks for the updates, right? But then again, that went out the door when cunt number 1 just decided to leave the chat. And now I'm back to talking to a bot. I kept saying, I don't understand the question. Is it one of these? Click one of these prompts. Like, no.
I can't click on those. I can't click on any links. It's not safe. We just learned that.
Exactly.
It's
Nothing
all a
is
scam.
safe. Everything's a scam. And I've learned nothing. I think I've actually lost knowledge, okay? I don't understand the point of a VPN, what it's even supposed to do, what it actually does, if it's more safe or less safe than just using the actual internet.
I know I have very bad coping skills, but like this is why I lose my mind on everything. 'Cause it's like you try to find any type of answer to help you get some form of peace of mind to get to the next fucking step.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you can't take the next step because nobody has the fucking answer how to take the next step. We're just constantly fucking fumbling on our fucking toes.
Like this thing, what's really baffling is it's not like this is, I don't know, let's just hypothetically say that VPNs were created in 2016 for argument's sake.
Sure.
Okay. This isn't January 1st of 2016 and I'm trying to find information. Okay. It's 2023. I've seen videos promoted by every YouTuber under the sun for the last 8 years saying VPN, 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 VPN. You would think after all this exposure to VPNs, after
more than
all
5,000
this
servers?
fucking, no, not even that, you'd think that I'd be able to find someone somewhere who does a comprehensive guide
who knows
and explains something to some sort of an extent. But no, I'm asking too much. And again, I don't know. Is it even worth pursuing? Am I more safe just using the actual unsafe internet? How unsafe is the internet? Try figuring out how IP grabbing works. Can't figure that out either.
I don't even know how to look up my own IP address.
That I do know how to do.
Let alone find somebody else's IP address.
And then it's like, I just don't get it at all.
Dude, there should be shrines across the world with like John Carpenter's face on them. And we all worship his word because that guy fucking told us 30 years ago this was going to happen.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, it's just, that's the only way, that's the only answer. You're right. I was trying to figure out what the actual way is to find the internet security. The only way to have internet security is to somehow stumble upon the fucking John Carpenter glasses, and then everything will start to come, I'll be able to see clearly for once, okay? Look at the album covers on that wall over there. Do those even say what we think they say?
Who knows?
Do they just say consume, 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 and consume?
Probably.
With colorful artwork?
If you look up the lyrics, they all say consume, 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 consume also.
And then that's hilarious. So I watched 2 different videos talking about internet security, and the guy was saying that you don't need a VPN, you just need to really be cognizant of your security. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. So just put an effort into
But then
being secure.
did he explain how to be cognizant of your security?
Yeah, he was saying multiple emails, different passwords for every service. He said answer security questions, but don't always use the same answer. It's like there's no reason why you can't lie. As long as you remember your lie, you're fine. So it's like, where were you born? Say Jupiter. It's not true, but as long as you remember that's how you said Jupiter, you're fine. He said that's safer than actually putting in the actual information every time. And I was like, all right. And then he was saying, as far as passwords, like, you want long passwords, like 25 characters plus.
But can I interrupt you for a second? So I already have a couple different emails just for general fucking things. I never thought of it in the sense, I just don't want my one email being too cluttered. I answer all the same security questions, but like, where do I answer all those questions so I don't forget them? In my phone.
Yeah.
So, like, am I supposed to just walk around the fucking notebook all the time
think
now and
so.
go backwards? And now, what am I supposed to do with all those emails I already have? Because you can't really delete an email easily. I've tried deleting my fucking shit sandwiches one from when I was fucking 13. I can't delete it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. That's not me. I just can't think again. I've been robbed of that today through my online, too much time on the internet, I guess, trying to figure out things.
Yeah, you're wrinkling my brain. I'm not feeling too good anymore. I felt I was in a good mood today, and now it's gone.
I was too. I was excited to record today, and I thought, well, I got some free time. I've been wanting to do the VPN for a while. Let me actually sit down, get into it, and it just broke me psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physically.
It's amazing how we spoke on the phone 4 hours ago when you first told me about this. Yeah. You were Alex, exactly. Alex called, not you. I'm sorry. My brother Alex called me 4 hours ago. Yeah. We had a conversation. I'm like, wow, that's really good. He got so much done today. I feel really good about coming home now.
Now
and everything else.
Alex, but now I've gone through the VPN. Now I've gone through the tunneling service.
You're a different Alex.
And then, like I said, certain sites are blocked using VPNs, and then you have to constantly change things. I don't know.
Oh, the whole point of VPN is so they don't know.
Since there's only 5,500 IP addresses, they block all those IP addresses.
Everything's a scam.
Which is why you have to create your own IP address for an extra $200, which defeats the purpose of having the anonymity in the first place.
just gonna
And as
say
far
you
as
work on a
passwords,
farm.
the guy was saying you should have 25 character passwords, right? And I was like, all right, mine aren't that long, but mine are pretty fucking long.
Mine are around that. They're also all stupid, so I'm not too concerned, but
But he was saying how you don't ever use repeat passwords on anything. And then he was saying how what you should use, since passwords are hard to remember, is you can take like song lyrics. And that's not like he was saying, for instance, let's don't stop believing could be your password, right? But then the next video I saw was saying it's actually bad practice to use famous song lyrics because there's actually like these the way people break passwords is by putting them through these programs that have information where they just like do all the common keywords. So apparently popular song lyrics are incorporated into those things. So then it was saying to fucking use the song lyrics, but then change letters out for things that aren't letters. Like change out like the one person gave an example of saying like
instead of E's.
an A is an E. I'm sorry,
a 3 is an E.
3 is an E. An A is a 1. And that stuff, and then he says, but don't use that specifically. That's actually also accounted for in these searchings. People use those search icons with your own way of ciphering your information or whatever, having a different way to have your code broke down. But then the next guy was saying how like apparently even that doesn't necessarily do anything. I don't know. None of it makes sense. I don't understand any of it. I know less, and I know like the worst thing or the dumbest thing a smart person can do is say how smart they are, okay? Which I guess proves I'm actually dumb because I went into thinking I'm pretty smart, but now I'm unsure of everything.
So I'm a genius. I think I'm stupid.
I guess everything's just the opposite of what it seems, which I guess was proven in the first 10 minutes, so you haven't actually had to listen to this at all because when I started off by saying a VPN actually doesn't do anything for you, I guess that was the sentiment. Whatever it is, whatever you think something is actually the opposite of it.
Oh, so if I don't think it's going to do anything for me, it actually does everything for me.
I guess it's just perception, actually. If you think the VPN will do something for you, it won't. But if you go into thinking it won't do anything for you, you're just wasting $200 for no fucking reason, it's actually going to do everything for you. It's actually going to be unstoppable. And the person was saying, too, how, like, the VPNs, your information might be stored there, and this, even though it doesn't get stored there, but then apparently it does because companies got hacked and information was exposed, and then also the government. And also, it was saying how when you're using a VPN, it actually centralizes your data more because it's
decentralize it.
I don't know. Because apparently all your information is now being put to this one service, and it's all your devices are going to that one service first, and then that one service is connecting to the internet. So now everything instead of your phone connection and the other phone, it's like nope, it all goes into this thing first, and then that gets fact checked.
So let me ask you something now. Maybe you don't have the answer for this then. So it goes back to what you said. There's really no reason for a VPN then, because if you're getting your own personal IP address from the VPN, that defeats the point of getting one. You already have your own IP address. So you're saying that the things that then funnel through the VPN to centralize it, but doesn't everything funnel through our router anyways and centralized by itself to begin with?
Yes.
So the VPN is just it's centralized there. We're going to centralize it through us now to make it easier for people to find?
I have no idea. It's asinine. The internet's broken. It's fucking broken. There's too much shit to do on there. There's too many sites. And also, it's like, if internet secured, I don't know. I really don't know. I was going to say, like, how hasn't, someone somewhere found, like, how hasn't there been someone who's some fucking nerd who's figured out a way to have where, no, these things are no longer an issue? It's like,
they probably did, but that person was killed like everybody else who does anything good for anybody.
Yeah. Whenever there's any actual, any progress we see is bullshit, and the progress we want to see has already been achieved. And
50 years ago someone did, and they were killed, and they're just slowly, what the hell's the word, funneling that through all of us through the next couple of years.
And there's so many buzzwords in these videos. The guys keep saying how your data can't even be stored if they wanted it to be stored because they're using RAM to store it. And I was like, I don't know what that means. I know what RAM is. What does that mean?
Every computer ever have RAM and store data on the RAM? What's the RAM doing in your computer right now? Because I don't know what RAM even does.
Let's get the actual official definition. Let's see if Google can tell me that
I've heard this term, but I don't know what the fuck it means.
What is
I just know every computer's
RAM?
got RAM.
Yeah. Isn't that the slogan for RAM? Got RAM?
No, it's actually got milk, but I can see why you got confused with that.
Random access memory. Random access memory is a form of computer memory that can be read and changed in any order typically used to store working data and the machine code.
Oh, so yeah, it all stores data anyways.
It's short-term memory for the CPU. So it doesn't store information because it only uses them on RAM, but RAM is storing information, and the company has all the information, but they're not doing any logs, but then they have to have some sort of a logs to have our credit card information in the first place.
You know those 5 companies that supposedly run everything?
Yes.
I think they all created the VPN, just make it easier to run everything.
I don't know. I really don't know what to do. I don't Again, am I better off having it and the minimal security it may provide, or am I better off not having anything? But then again, it's like, how do I have an internet? Because again, you have to have a presence on the internet for like what we're doing right now. The whole entire point of this is to be on the internet, right?
I think it was a mistake.
It might have been. So how do I do this safe? It's like, how do I do this safely and not hurt myself? You know.
We have to make our own website.
No, basically, make your own website, your own VPN.
We have to go work in an office building 3 states away from us.
I don't get it. That's what we'll do. You know what we'll do? We'll again, we got the lead room, lead bunker, because again, Superman can't see through it. It's all you need to know for the metric, right? So we go into this lead bunker. We'll go down there with this old fucking like just tape recorder with actual tape. We'll record our tape there. We'll then we'll get into a car. We have someone else rent for us, okay? We'll get in that car. We'll drive 3 states away. We have to move into the middle of the country so no one knows which state we're going to each time. It can't be like, where you live in Maine. It's like, okay, they're only going west, right? If you're in California, they're obviously going east.
That makes sense.
So let's go into one of those godforsaken flyover states, okay? Get in there. Then we have to drive 3 states away and have someone else remotely transcribe our recording to a digital recording and then upload it for us themselves. That's what we need to do, okay?
And it can't be our voices anymore. It's got to be generic fucking
some sort
bot
of
voices.
pitched down. Exactly.
I'm Arabi. I think that's funny what you said, Alex. Ha ha ha.
Exactly.
Ha ha ha.
Well, that's what we're all going to, since apparently everything is just all. Let's say the other day about all those fucking videos that are just these content farms where people are making these fake lists and everything else to generate income.
It's getting to the point where you can't believe anything that's in front of your face outside of everything.
Yeah. I don't get it. Times
And what do you need to track my data for when everybody has one of these fucking things where you can track my whereabouts day to day?
I know, and he was even
anyways?
saying how even if you're using a VPN, they can still triangulate your location.
You know where my phone is all the fucking time. What the fuck do you need my
Apparently,
IP for?
even if you're using the VPN, they can triangulate still because of Bluetooth and all the devices on there. They can just like track where that device is pinging on the world and then figure out where that device is located and then figure out, oh, that's on this VPN. This is the VPN they're using. This is their IP address. This is where they are.
You know how like years ago when cell phones were first starting to become more mainstream, people were like, well, you really shouldn't listen to them because it can cause cancer in your brain and shit from having the waves and everything else. What the fuck is Bluetooth doing exactly? Because Bluetooth kind of terrifies me.
I have no idea.
I don't understand. I thought this the other day. I don't really get it. I don't know how it's connecting
at all.
And why is it then when I'm in someone else's house, my YouTube's like, you want to connect to their TV? No. I don't know who this person fucking is. Why am I connecting to their TV?
I know.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, man.
I really don't get what the VPN does.
Nothing.
Or what the DVPN does,
It's a
or what
fancy fucking
Tor
title.
does, or what fucking that weird crypto one I saw where I have to pay for every individual fucking request I did to an extent. And the guy was saying it's not that bad unless you plan on watching a lot of movies. I'm like, if I plan on watching a lot of movies, you mean if I plan on paying for a streaming service to, I don't know, use the streaming service?
That's a little counterproductive. Why would you want a streaming service to actually use it?
Too much talking on a talk show. It's just sick. I don't know how to feel, how to think. It's sickening. It's gross. And
We should go back to reading.
let's go back to reading. No digital footprint. Everything should be analog. Nothing should be digital. We need to stop having, fucking look at movies. What's better, Robbie, a movie on film or a movie that's digitally shot? A movie on film, okay? This is all, we got to the point where we went to, everything's got to have a peak, right? So we had peak development, and then, even though it seems like we're actually going down because it's all just getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I guess the guys behind Y2K, they were all correct because it all kind of changed once internet became more important, and they just didn't realize what they were referring to with Y2K. They said it was the end. They thought it was the end, like everything's ending right here and now.
No, they didn't mean the end of the good times.
You can't have any more freedom anymore. The end of your actual life and your personal being, that's over.
Yeah, the bad times, the bad moons are rising,
They were just, that's what it was.
So yeah, I spent, 4 hours in front of my computer trying to figure out what a VPN was, and I know less now than I did, because previously I went into it with some sort of an undeserved sense of confidence where I was like, oh no, it's a fucking, I just pictured it like as in constantly scrambling your IP address from like where, because you see those illustrations where it shows like peer-to-peer or whatever, if that's the proper term, and it shows like here. Mm-hmm. It shows like some cool little graphic of showing like, look, it's showing like some phony electric symbol saying, look, you're here. And it shoots your symbol connection here, and then bounces into here, and then from Lithuania to Belgium, and from Belgium to fucking Peru, and from Peru to Bulgaria, and from Bulgaria to fucking Argentina, from Argentina to Chile, and from Chile to Canada, and back to your server.
Do you remember in the Spaceship Earth ride when you would go backwards before they changed everything, how they had like this is what this feature's going to look like with the internet, how this guy can work over here in this country, he can still FaceTime his kid over here before FaceTime supposedly exists. You know, obviously someone invented it 50 years ago. They killed that person. Now also we have FaceTime.
Yeah.
Fucking what you just described sounds like that, where they had the fucking blue lights passing back and forth.
Yeah, I really just don't know. And I wish I did. I wish I could. You know how happy I would have been today if I could just like sign up for it free of these and been like, oh, this is great. You know what, too? They fucked themselves up. Because once I realized, like, oh, no. Silly me. I forgot. Why would I look at the giant bold text that says $3 a month and take that at face value? Obviously, that means it's $3 a month for a 2-year window where I have to pay everything up front at once.
I thought there was some law that supposedly passed years ago where it's like you can't really false advertise anymore because everyone's falling for it. Wasn't there some bullshit fucking law where it's like, well, you can't say this, and that's why every commercial now has a fine print on it because they can't legally say it, but they still say it anyways.
Other ways to get around everything. There's no actual rule and order.
This all sounds
it comes down to what everyone always says, that fucking laws and regulations only apply to fucking Joe Schmo like you and me. There's a top 1% controlling everything else, and then there's always us fucking asshole ants in our colonies.
It's a lot like the 1984 stuff, all the different ministries. It's what it sounds like. VPN's just a different ministry.
Yeah, but you know what? No, that's actually a better world, because at least they fucking know to a large extent the world. Like, you know, like Winston's very much aware of what's going on, you know? Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, my life sucks. Everything's a lie. I remember that 2 months ago we were fighting with that country. Now they're telling me we would never fight that country. At least he's not. They're doing. At least that was objectively in your face. Which is like, you know, would you rather get punched with someone? Would you rather get punched? Oh, stabbed. Okay. Would you get stabbed in the back or stabbed in the front?
The front.
Exactly. Yeah, so 1984 is at least being very transparent with you about how shitty your life was. The current situation we live in is this false sense of, no, everything's great. I'm my own person. I have my own sense of, you know, autonomy. I can control my life, my destiny, my outcomes, and everything else. And I have control over everything around me, which is a lie.
I can go on a rant, but I don't know. How you feeling? Should we keep talking?
I don't know. Again, I can't think straight. I told you this already, okay? I've been reborn in a lesser version of myself after this witch hunt.
It's just it's annoying listening to everybody now saying how it's one of the hardest times to be alive. Because I guess everyone says it's the best time to be alive, but you know, everyone's depressed now. Everyone's on medication. Everyone talks about how they have these mental health issues, and everyone uses these same blanketed terms for everything about every fucking issue.
Yes.
And it's kind of hard to see a way to get out of that when it's like,
you can't even
simple,
get the simple
basic
answer
principles
on,
that
you
should
can't
be
look up on the internet and get an actual answer.
It's just a constant fucking spiral downward. It's
like, think about the old days, right? You do a paper for school, right? Mm-hmm. Go to the library, get a published book, go to the encyclopedia.
What's a library?
Go to the encyclopedia, find scholarly cited information to get an actual understanding of something. Now, look something online. Like, even when I was looking at the VPN stuff, the guy's talking about VPN reviews, where it's showing like which VPN has the highest review from aggregated users,
all those
and
reviews
everything.
Are bots.
That's what he was saying, and he was like, "How do you even trust that? How do you actually know what is how do you even just take that at face value?"
I talked about
especially how often is it where you see fucking some company talking about like where they're saying, "Hey, you can get $20 off if you leave a review on our company." But then it doesn't. But do not say you left a review because you got. Do not say like. All these things
Isn't that illegal?
It's highly illegal. But all those companies are constantly doing it where they're having people leave reviews or where they're having people like do endorsements or brand deals when they're explicitly saying. I know there's one shady YouTube sponsor group who apparently like goes after everyone, but only fools fall for it. I think it was Call Me Kevin years ago. I saw talking about it, where it's like they email everyone. And they explicitly want to promote. They want you to promote their service, but they tell you do not say it's a promotion and this is paid for, even though you have to disclose for FTC if you're doing something for a sponsorship, because a sponsorship is not the same as a review. A review is your unbiased opinion. Even if you're giving an unbiased opinion with a sponsorship, to an extent, you can't trust it fully because they're being paid to talk about the product.
What'd you say is the thing in place that says you have to?
The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission.
So what are they doing? They're just letting everybody do what they fucking want.
They're doing nothing.
There's another shell company that's in place just to fucking pretend there's rules they don't actually have to follow.
And again, so I look up right here. What does a VPN do? A VPN stands for a virtual private network and describes the opportunity to establish a protected network connection when using public networks. VPNs encrypt your internet traffic and disguise your online identity. This makes it more difficult for third parties to track your activities online and steal data from you.
Yeah, I just said the other day, how is it that all these channels we watch are promoting this stuff if it's supposedly this big thing and you're not supposed to be able to do it? Obviously, there's my answer. It's not what it is. It's a fucking bullshit made up term.
Yeah, there's
it's like
forced
when
marketing.
It's like when they fucking say, well, you can get all the bells and whistles on your car and you pay this much for it, but in reality, you're not getting anything extra except your mirror can blink until there's a car behind you.
Exactly. No, it's a mass marketing push with all the money they have from whoever's investing in it and everything else.
It's like health insurance. You pay for it, it might help you out. VPNs might help you, but probably won't do anything for you.
Yeah. Nothing does anything. I don't know. I just genuinely, it's so confusing, and it shouldn't be so confusing. It should be. It shouldn't even be. Maybe that's what it should be. Maybe instead of creating more and more stupid fucking social media sites and everything else, maybe there should be someone who's like, I don't know, trying to make the internet safe.
You know what was a really good form of social media? Forums. You went to the forum that made sense to your niche group. That was the end of it. There's no reason for social media. Don't need fucking Facebook. You don't need fucking Instagram. You don't need fucking Snapchat.
Well,
we all functioned
evil.
10 years ago prior to
They're all
this.
just collecting your data and selling it, which is what everything is saying. And it's like, so, but who? And then it's like, so they're selling it to who and for what and why and what does it mean?
What the fuck is so special about me? You know all my fucking data.
I don't know why.
I look at MILF porn every now and then. You need to know that.
It's actually really important to know. It's actually super important. Now they don't even need it. Now you just give it to them for free. Now they know you do that.
I guess the jig is up.
Because this entire video, I'm assuming, has somehow already been, even if it hasn't been uploaded yet, while we're recording it, it somehow has already been fucking scrubbed through and keywords have been taken out of it.
Well, yeah, because we have this thing plugged into our outlet right now. It has power, and the power is connected to our internet.
Grid, which, goes to the internet. And the internet's obviously all being controlled. And also, I don't know.
And you know what's really disturbing? Just to go forward with this, because now I'm spiraling.
Yeah.
The whole Alexa thing they have now.
Yeah, no.
Smart lights, smart music, all that connects to your internet to link up your security to your house. Your locks are now attached to your internet.
Yep.
Your lights are attached to your internet. Your TV, well, your TV's always been for fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything's going to connect to this one centralized, we're decentralizing it, but not really, because Google owns all of it.
I know. It's fucked. It's complete. We need to go back to just having like ice boxes and a milkman who delivers it to you every single week, and we need to have fucking gas and no electricity and
that scene in Office Space when they destroy the fax machine.
Yes.
That seems way more fucking apropos right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to take on the machines right now. I just can't compute any of it, and I like to think I'm a relatively smart person who has a basic understanding of a lot of things, but I can't wrap my head around this nonsense because all the information I'm seeing is completely contradictory of the previous thing I've seen.
There is no basic understanding. We're all making up as we go.
And again, it's just this mass media marketing push where they're paying people who are just blindly accepting the sponsorship, saying, oh yeah, it's a VPN, it's great, blah, 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 blah. And they're saying all the buzzwords and all the keywords.
All those people probably don't even use the VPN.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they do. There's clues to it, but I mean... maybe just buy, I don't know. Just buy it because maybe, and maybe it's something.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
And again, something as simple as, do I need a VPN to stream? Can't get an answer to that. Should I have a VPN if I'm uploading to YouTube? Can't get an answer for that. Do I need a VPN in my personal life? Can't get an answer to that. Is it actually encrypting my data? Maybe. Who's encrypting it for, though? Who's actually seeing the data? Where's the data going? It's not being stored at all, but they're storing a little bit. It's got hacked. Stuff was released, but actually nothing's been stored at all. They're doing. It says, oh, these companies are saying, like, as far as proof that they're not storing data, they do audits to prove they're not doing it. Like, they're conducting their own audits.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
Fishy.
like a conflict of interest.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I stole money from my company, but I'm performing the audit, so I'm going to show you all the numbers so you don't realize
So it's actually
I stole the
I
money.
didn't do anything at all. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing whatsoever.
Fucking, we just finished Ozark, and that one cartel guy was skimming money. Remember how that happened? He kept denying it. That's basically what's occurring.
In what way?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought because this is too confusing.
You lost your train of thought before you finished a sentence. It was like what, 6 words?
Pretty much.
Was that it was that tether that you just flew away like a kite?
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. So basically, no. To answer your question from earlier when you first walked home, say, so is the VPN set up? No, it's not set up.
Dude, I was wondered why when I was like, so did you set up? No, go shower so we can record. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's not how he usually responds.
No, I know. I just wanted to talk about this, and I thought maybe by the end of it, I would like feel a little bit more like, all right, well, I guess that I after all that,
I remember
talking. What's your point?
The Ozark thing where I was saying how like you're skimming money from your own audit, like that's basically the same idea. I guess my point never made sense.
What?
Forget it. I'm sorry. Continue.
Jesus Christ! You're not trying to be nice to you.
In here, it makes tons of sense. I can't get to come out of here and make sense.
We need the fucking Elon Musk Neuralink. Remember you on Rogan saying how like you lose 80% of what you want to convey in your thoughts by trying to figure out how to verbalize it and talk. So with the Neuralink, it was instantly up. It would be the fucking Alec Baldwin thing.
And you know what's cool? You can set your own VPN to that Neuralink.
Exactly, your own VPN. So they can't track you, but all they do is just track the company, and the company can give over information if they want to. And it's like, again, the VPN, I guess the only maybe way it would work, I can look more into the fucking making your own VPN, but apparently that's even slower than the actual VPNs. And
also, the Neuralink thing is a fucking upgrade waiting to happen.
yeah. Except for not nearly as cool.
Yeah, not exactly. You're not going to be able to fucking do cool shit where you can flip and all this other stuff.
That's something I hate, too. The only way Neuralink would ever be cool for anyone is if you're the only person who had it. You know what they say? If everyone's rich, no one's rich. If everyone has superpowers, no one has superpowers.
Yeah.
So everyone has a Neuralink. No one has Neuralink. Oh, you're not going to drive your cars anymore. Also, that's another thing I don't like, too. You know, people are like, you won't drive, you don't have to drive a car anymore in the future. It's like, I like driving cars.
Yep.
It's therapeutic to drive a car. Stop trying to take everything I like away from me.
Yep.
You'll never have to leave your house again. I like leaving my house.
Well, it goes to that, too.
You'll never own a house. Exactly. I like owning my own things.
You just want you to rent everything. No one wants to have own property. Everything that makes you feel like a human being, it's all being stripped away.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Everything you can possibly think of, it's bullshit. Every fucking thing is completely a lie. And again, it's weird. I've seen VPNs marketed for the last 10 years. Everyone's using them. They're constantly saying how they're great for privacy and security, and they protect against malware, and they're fucking your life will now, you're susceptible to be hacked, even though apparently it does none of those fucking things. They just keep saying it does all of those things. So then what does do those things? Because there's people in the world who have security.
Bye, Chiquita. Bye, little sucker.